What's up, YouTube? It's me again, and I have some more breaking news. I don't know what's been going on all last week, but yeah, we're here. So apparently the NBA and some coaches and players have been going on with the mob and doing some gambling behind the scenes, like, some illegal gambling. I'm thinking that has to do with like cheating as far as leveling the playing field on games and winnings. So I don't really know too much about it, but I mean we have to dig deep into this situation.
We've got some breaking news for you. Miami Heat point guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups have been arrested in connection to an FBI sports gambling investigation. Next hour, we're expecting FBI Director.
Alright, so I want to see more images of other people involved. They always got to show the niggas.
Kash Patel to appear with the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York at a press conference announcing indictments surrounding those allegations. All right, CNN's Kara Scannell is joining us now with the latest.
Man, doing that type of shit and you making that much money?
Yeah,
oh
these
man!
Just happened, and of course, the Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, have been arrested. A third former NBA player is also charged. And what law enforcement officials tell us is that there are two separate schemes here. One involved a game rigging scheme that's involved Terry Rozier, and he allegedly provided information about who was playing in games, who might be on the injury list, to some of the sports bettors that he was involved with, and he benefited himself financially.
I mean, people have been saying for years sports is rigged and things like that, but when you have this stuff going on and it's coming to, life, into light, people start to believe it's true.
Of the Trailblazers, and in that alleged scheme, that also involves three families from the New York mafia families, the Genovese, the Bonanno, and the
mafia
families. That this is a poker scheme, according to sources, that involved playing Texas Hold'em, and that Billups was part of that scheme, attending these games.
They in the scheme with the big dogs.
Official, his attendance was there to be used as sort of a distraction to some of the other players who were playing, all part of a poker ring. So two separate sports betting schemes that they're announcing today, and we will of course learn much.
You know what they saying nowadays, that sports betting is, people have an addiction with that, like gambling, especially with sports bettings that have been going on within the last, I would say, 2 to 5 years. Yeah, they said that has gotten out of control.
Greater detail about what all of this entails next hour, when we do expect to see the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, the NYPD police chief, as well as the FBI Director Kash Patel, kind of laying out the breadth of these two alleged schemes. And we'll find out how much money is actually involved in all of this.
Yeah, those details should be coming out in not too much time, certainly today. And of course, they are innocent until proven guilty, but these allegations are some really surprising ones that we've gotten this morning. Thank you so much. I'm going to also bring in Christine Brennan, CNN sports analyst and sports columnist for USA Today. What are the rules with the NBA? Because some of the gambling policies, because some of these policies have been lessened and lightened over time.
Who ratted them out? I'm telling y'all now, somebody had to drop the dime, or they had an informant. Somebody was undercover to gather this information. When the feds go in, they just not going in off hearsay, thearsay. They want to go in with all the information. Somebody on the inside threw them under. Somebody squealed, or they had an informant, or somebody went undercover. These are the only possibilities I could think of that brought this whole organization scheme down.
But first of all, did it shock you to hear this, that these two people were caught up in all of this? And second of all, what are the rules?
Man, where's the other people at? I want to see faces of the other people's
country.
Sarah, as you know, it is huge, and it's almost like, when was this going to happen? Here it's happened, this bombshell. And of course, the timing could not be worse for the NBA. Just starting its season, the grand opening, every team having its first game.
We have short attention spans. People forget about it in a week or two.
Game, just as big a story as you.
When I say we, I mean like most
bombshell
people.
Drops right into the middle of it. Of course, as it should, in terms of investigation, national investigation. Of course, you don't wait for a better time, but for the NBA, could not be worse. And so, yes, on one level, it's shocking because you just can't believe, especially a name like Chauncey
I
Billups.
could believe,
Even if you
shoot.
just casually followed the NBA, you know that name. He's 50 years old, a great career with
Man, you
Detroit
had
Pistons.
it going.
Now a head coach. He's the leader of the team, and now he is alleged to have been involved, as Tara was saying, in this incredible scandal. Again, innocent until proven guilty. And then also a player who's been around, Rozier, who's been around and drafted first in a few years ago by the Boston Celtics. So we're not talking about rookies. We're not talking about people that have not been in the game, have not heard the rules.
So he's
I
a
think
seasoned.
what happens in a situation like this, Sarah, is where you have gambling literally enveloping sports. And we know this. Every commercial, you turn it, you walk away, you're back. It's something sponsored by
DraftKings and shit like that.
That this is the kind of thing that is probably a disaster, potential disaster, alleged disaster, waiting to happen. And as I said, I don't think we should be that shocked, and I don't think this, sadly, will be the last of these kinds of stories.
Of course
This is literally
not.
coming as the NCAA, college sports, the Division I athletes, they're looking at allowing them to place bets on professional sports. So as you said,
I mean, college athletes are adults. They should be able to place bets just like everybody else, and they should have been getting paid. And I'm glad that they're getting paid now. So proceed.
it's sort of the breadth of this could be quite huge. What do you make of that?
Well, yes, and hey, you played sports at a high level, and I certainly played sports my whole life. The idea that something that you want to be able to trust, right? The whole foundation of sports is that what you're watching is real, and that there's no funny business, no shady dealings going on.
Shoot, all right.
And if that comes crumbling down, then clearly, that's a huge issue for in terms of any sport. But you had Shohei Ohtani's interpreter narrating something. So that's baseball. As you said, college
Sports is
these
just
are younger
entertainment.
athletes, 18,
I don't do
22,
sports
23
betting,
years old.
but
Even,
people do. So I
probably
get why
more
they want it,
questionable
to
and
be
more apt
legit.
to be able to be caught in something this terrible.
Thank you to you, Christine Brennan, and to you, Kara Scannell. We are waiting for that.
Yeah, they're not showing us pictures of other people because I don't want to see pictures of just them two. When y'all said it's other people involved in other mafia families, and you just showing us pictures of them two. Nah, show us everybody. Don't just show us them two, so they could be the fall guys to be the image of everything that's going on and be the fall guys, And like y'all said, innocent until proven guilty. I don't know, but if the feds come knocking, that means they gathered the information they needed to. So, let the feds, let law enforcement do their job. But man, that's not surprising. What surprised people probably is that the mafia is involved because the mafia, they have been quiet for a very long time. Very, very low key. A distinctive family of people who just not all out there. You don't even know what they look like. That's how low key they are and how they move. And I would say that they've been moving the right way all this time up until now. As far as like being a crimey, that's what I mean by they've been moving right because. For their name, the last time you probably heard of the mafia is what, Las Vegas times when Las Vegas was first popping off and things like that. So for their name to finally be brought up now shows that they still around and they doing a thing, but behind the scenes, mostly probably white collar stuff. But are y'all surprised? Do you think that now they're gonna look into every organization, MLB, NFL, NCAA? The feds, they want to get some, what is that, what's that term called? They want some, the term, what is the terminology? I'm trying to think of it, y'all, give me a second. They want to go viral too. That's not the terminology, but that's the closest to it. But, hey, what y'all think about that? And on the other end, do you think all sports are rigged? But hey, answer down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll get back to you in the next one. Peace.